against the Chinese government. And just brief description. Yesterday I posted one video about the Chinese government and earthquake 2007 in China. And one of the Chinese guy was like, he said, no other nations support like pathetic, like North Korean dictators. So I posted in like another post. I will post that on YouTube later on. And here we are at the back of the White House. A lot of visitors. There's a lot of people over there. Today, this morning, we have some prayer group, like praying for North Korean defectors, South Korea, and the state of the United States. And then people came join for the protesting against North Korean defectors in China who are forcefully sending back to their country, which is a certain death sentence. And Chinese government, they wrote, they signed the treaty, but not sending North Korean defectors back to their country, but still keep doing that. So here we are. As you can see, the police cars over there.
I came here in the United States in 2009.
So not many people today.
I lived in China for 3 years.
They're playing like the speech I made when I, a couple days ago, I spoke at the Chinese embassy.
Sending North Korean refugees.
Here we go, all the visitors here.
How many
That's
Chinese refugees in the United States?
White House.
Take away the belongings, send them back to China. We never done anything. Why you guys are still doing inhumane things? And you said that you are civilized. That's not civilized country should have done. And North Korean dictators are bad. You know what? You are 1 trillion times worse than North Korean dictator. He doesn't have any choice. You have a choice to do either good or bad, but you choose to do evil things. That's more worse than like a serial killer. You are more worse than serial killer. You should have never done that or thinking about it. When I was in China, one of the taxi drivers
right now some people are like taking snapshots, taking videos.
I was nearly sent back to North Korea. Because of the grace of God,
some people,
I saved. I'm here. I never died.
Many of the Chinese
You know how many times I
very
tortured
offended
in
about
jail
this
for
thing.
nothing, for my
Which is like,
and you guys are
in a way
supporting
makes
them.
sense because
You
they are
Chinese
Chinese, they're supporting the
listen,
government.
You are so savages. Stop doing the savage things. If you think you're a decent government, civilized countries,
The way
you
I'm
should
doing
stop
this
doing
because
that.
I was
This
originally
is
from North
only
Korea.
uncivilized country doing that. Only in the North Korea, China, of course you guys are always doing evil things, and
If you listen to Voice of America, you will
Listen up,
get a lot of
China.
information.
do some decent human things. Stop doing evil things. North
Yes.
Korean refugees, they are
Voice of America
human.
is a really good
They
news
deserve
station. They're telling
freedom.
the truth.
Okay.
Run by the
And
government.
think about that's one of your family members. Are you going to say, oh, they going
Don't
back to
support China.
that camp? I'm happy. Are you celebrating them? Are you asking them for can I keep money? I'm
This is a
sending my
pastor
family to
that's
that
walking by
camp.
the
Are
guy
you
who is
celebrating them?
wearing hats.
Are you happy?
He
with
working
that?
so hard.
No, of course not. Because they are not your family members. You are happy to doing evil things. Okay. Once again, I will never stop supporting you unless you supporting my people. And right now, look at your embassy position. It's in the heavenly spots. And why you guys deserve good things? Why are you doing evil things to others? Stop doing evil things. Do good things. Xi Jinping, who do you think you are? You can do bad things to people. Huh? Do you think you are God? No. Do some good things. You will get punished if you keep doing that. Okay?
My video quality is not good.
Appreciate everybody,
but,
and
some people
especially
just
the
like,
man serving over there, security members.
they're laughing at the
They
Chinese government.
just
because I'm
take your time
speaking
and
about- I spoken
protecting you. Are you able to they came out and
I'm
thank
surprised like
you,
more
did
like
you have a write a
Western
copy
people,
to them?
like white people, they
You're never
interested
doing
in
anything.
most
Do some
Koreans or
decent human
other
things.
people.
Come on, China. Again, stop doing evil things. Stop sending
like
North
more
Korean
like
refugees.
Koreans involved,
They're
especially like
seeking for
North
freedom
Koreans
and
like me.
for lives.
They
Send
never-
them back to the
Not many
death
people.
sentence. Thank you.
There you go, even some of the couple like the black guys, they listening.
From the South Korea,
I'm
and my
surprised.
name is Seung Kim. On the 30th of last month, the North Korean Human Rights Information Center (NKDB) argued the China Commission (CECC) to hold a hearing titled "North Korean Refugees and the Imminent Danger of Forced Repatriation to China." Through the hearing, it was revealed that the detention centers in China where the North Korean refugees have been expanding, despite the UN's recommendation that the Chinese government stop the forced repatriation of North Korean refugees to North Korea.
After this speech done, I'm going to spoke about a little bit about China, how I live there, what the conditions are like, what the North Korean conditions are, and how North Koreans are being treated. I only talk about my own experience when I was in North Korea and China. So.
And the Convention Against Torture is 1988. According to Article 1 of the UN Refugee Convention, refugee is defined as follows. A refugee is a person outside the country of his or her nationality who, because of a well-founded fear of being persecuted, and is unable to avail himself of the protection of that country. Currently, North Korea is experiencing a severe food crisis. In addition, North Korea ranks first in the Global Enslavement Index, in the Christian Persecution Index, and the lowest in the world in the Democratization Index, in the Economic Liberalization Index, and the freedom and human rights of North Korean people are seriously violated. And in light of the definition of the refugee presented in Article 1 of the Refugee Convention, North Korean refugees are recognized as UN refugees. In the early 1960s, the Chinese government signed the agreements on the repatriation of smugglers with North Korea. China is a member state of the United Nations Security Council, must adhere to the principle of prohibition of forced repatriation under Article 33. Paragraph 1 of the Refugee Convention, which states that refugees are prohibited from expulsion or repatriation to the borders of territories where their lives or freedoms may be threatened in any way. There is an obligation to abide by it, and refugees who defected from North Korea must never be forcibly repatriated. However, North Korean refugees who have been forcibly repatriated to North Korea as defectors and punishes them severely, comparable to political prisoners. According to the 2023 report on human rights in North Korea by the Ministry of Unification, North Koreans face severe human rights violations such as torture, detention, forced labor, and execution when caught by the Chinese government or forcefully returned to North Korea. About 80% of women are victims of human trafficking and were exploited in the sex trafficking. The Chinese government's forced repatriation of North Korean refugees who have not left for freedom and life to North Korea, engaged in the North Korean dictatorial regime's horrific, murderous acts and human rights violations. Do the Chinese governments and officials who send North Korean refugees in this way really know the value of one life? It is an exaggeration to say that North Korean refugees who are forcibly repatriated have a 99% chance of being killed. North Korean refugees are the people.
There's like a city of Atlanta, Chicago, Georgia, and other New York City. There's like the 5 major cities in the U.S. They're protesting, and the pastor he just told me that like there was like a big protesters and a big crowd a couple days ago in Atlanta. And he said like once this is done, we will marching around, and so the people can see and hear much better. So, couple seconds, be right back.
I deeply appreciate to all of us now standing for those Korean defectors. This is the statement of this press conference. After reading this statement, we will deliver to this the Chinese embassy, and also we will ask them to send this statement to Xi Jinping of China. China joined the UN Convention relating to the status of the refugees in 1982, but has never officially granted UN refugee status to any North Korean defectors to this day. Article 33 of the UN Refugee Convention states that no Constitution state shall expel or return of refugees in any manner whatsoever to the frontiers of territories, where his life or freedom is restricted on account of his race, religion, nationality, membership of a particular social group, or political opinion. Article 3 of the Convention Against Torture and Other Cruel, Inhuman, or Degrading Treatment or Punishment also stipulates that no state party shall expel, return, or extradite a person to another state where there are substantial grounds for believing that he is in danger of being subject to torture. According to the testimonies from many defectors who have been repatriated from China, they face severe torture by North Korean authorities, confiscation of all their money and possessions, and particularly pregnant women are subject to forced abortion and infanticide. After torture, they are even imprisoned or forced into political prison camps, where they die from overwork, starvation, diseases, and their appetite. Political organized churches in China who are police violence are often tried to espionage and enlist in political prison camps or even executed. Since January 2020, North Korea has closed its borders to prevent the spread of COVID-19.
Okay, time is almost end. I'm out of time, but I wanted to talk about the life in North Korea and the life in China. But I guess maybe I got tomorrow or next time. But more people getting some interest, which is great. I really appreciate. Again, but stop supporting China. Made in China, don't buy it again. They never do anything good, but doing evil. Okay, see you soon.